Good morning. It's Tuesday afternoon in Brussels, the first day of the European Seafood Exhibition. It seems that the show is fairly busy this year. Last year, of course, there was a lot of consternation because of the economic downturn that was still hitting Europe. This year, things seem a bit better despite some of the economic headlines. In fact, the weakness in seafood buying in Europe is very specific. It's affecting mostly countries like Spain, countries like Greece, but in Northern Europe and in the UK and France, Belgium, Germany, and the Nordic countries, there's a lot of demand and interest in seafood. So although we haven't heard from as many people as I'd like, our initial read on the show is that it's quite positive. The second feature of the show that seems particularly interesting is an emphasis on new products. A lot of companies here are looking at kind of the long-term future of seafood supply, and as a result, they are introducing a lot of new products. One that caught my eye was snow crab. Snow crab has not traditionally been a big product in the European market, but talking to some of the companies that sell food service, there's been a real opening for snow crab in Europe, given the high price of king crab and in some cases the unavailability of king crab. And as a result, there are companies here which have introduced and are marketing snow crab products for the first time. Some of these are meat products produced from crab from Korea, processed in Vietnam. Some of them are whole cluster products. The king crab that is marketed here is primarily from Norway. The third theme of the show that we're seeing yesterday in meetings and today is a very fierce discussion about marketing of sustainability. The Alaska and Iceland's decision to introduce the Global Trust Certification Scheme and the fact that some of the major Alaskan producers are no longer willing to sell their salmon under the MSC program has led to a huge amount of discussion around the MSC, around the future of how to market seafood sustainability, and there are quite a range of opinions. The opinions really come down to marketing issues, not sustainability issues. For example, companies in the UK that have invested in developing an MSC labeled program for Alaska salmon very much want to continue selling under the MSC label because they've printed packaging, they've made commitments to customers, they've touted this thing as an advantage. There's no arguments here, I don't think, or at least that I've heard, about the fact that different fisheries are sustainable or not sustainable. The real issue seems to be, how do you market the sustainability? And the different buyers come down on a lot of different sides of this, and I think there's both a short-term and a long-term implication here. Short-term implication is a lot of the buyers very much do want to remain committed to an MSC type of program, and some of them are using an MSC label. Long-term, I think there's quite an evolution going on, kind of similar to what happened with food safety, where you used to have the BRC and the SQF and other types of seafood safety or food safety organizations, and eventually the retailers put together this global food safety initiative, GFSI, and they all got benchmarked by an independent, very creditable third party, and it became a pass-fail system. Beyond that is the marketing. I think what's happening here, we're beginning to see some discussions about it, is the evolution of sustainability to a pass-fail system. Either the fishery is managed sustainably or it's not. Now, once it's managed sustainably, then there are a lot of things you can do about marketability, which impact maybe how the customers might see that seafood, but don't impact on its sustainability. So, for example, within the MSC program, they certify purse seine tuna and they certify pole and line tuna. Now, a customer might want to choose just pole and line tuna, but it doesn't mean that the rest of the tuna is not sustainable. So I think when you put this onto a broader scale, we see an evolution that's taking place in how the buyers are talking about sustainability, but it's not something that can happen overnight, and it's not a short-term change. Customers have invested in packaging, they've invested in marketing programs, they've invested in consumer education, and it's going to be over time that these things evolve to become a more stable, maybe more universal standard, where in order even to get into the store, a seafood product has to have a basic sustainability certification, period. That's where I think we see this evolving. So in Brussels, Belgium, this is John Sackton.